Hey friends, Kevin here.
A lot of the stuff that people think you need, oh, I gotta have a little water thing. Oh, I gotta have this. I gotta have that. You don't really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice to have.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with putting a sink system with the little drain thing for it to drain into and having wiring in the little 12-volt electric. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
Right.
cool. But it's not something you need to do. It's not something you have to have even to go spend a month or two going across the country.
So I mean, you can do this and you can go places and have fun, and you don't need a whole lot.
Because the goal is to be outside as much as possible.
Right.
Anyway.
And I have the stove, the 2-burner stove, the Coleman stove, and the fridge and all that, and it works. And I like cooking. And making real food and having coffee and all of that. So it's fun, and it's great to be able to do that and still have the space. And sometimes it is hard, but you just get used to it after a while. And if you're really into it and really enjoy it, then it's not gonna be so hard on you and you're gonna hate it, because you have to be in it for the right reasons.
And that becomes the things that I've met with a lot of people when I've been out.
Yeah, they get burnt out because
they get burnt out because they've got a system that's too much work and it's constant aggravation. Because they have too much stuff and they spend every time, whatever it is they're trying to get to, they have to move 7 other things.
I go through that
they
too.
have to move in order to make their bed to get ready for the night. They have to move every other thing they own to a different location.
That would be so annoying.
And that, for a few days, a weekend trip, maybe a week once a year, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going out and doing this for weeks and months or full time,
like I am,
that's going to get old really, really fast.
Yes.
And it's things like that that cause a lot of people to just throw in the towel.
Right. Yeah. And see, that's why when I had that sleeping cot, and you have to open it up and try and fight with the legs and and try and lay on there, and then the legs move and your feet's falling or your head's falling. No, it lasted longer than I thought it would, but I would say 5 or 6 months. And then I'm like, I'm getting me a bed. I don't care, because everybody was totally against it. And I'm like, I don't care what people say.
Yeah, having a real bed, a real mattress, something
real
decent enough that's close to your bed at home.
Right. Because now that is my home. That is my mobile. I mean, I stay at people's places. I might hang out and be able to couch surf or mooch dock or whatever. But that's basically, if I'm not doing that, I'm in my van, and I need to be comfortable.
I put a lot of emphasis on the bed part, on the mattress part, on the sleep part. And there's a lot of people that don't agree with that until they get out doing it. Because, you see these people trying to sit up and try to just sit up in the front seats. And I mean, you can't be comfortable. You can't get comfortable. You can't ever get a decent night's sleep.
Right.
And you can't go without a decent night's sleep more than 2 or 3 in a row until you're just shot.
Yes.
It's just like anything else in life. You're barely functioning at that point.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to do this 24 hours a day,
it ain't gonna work.
And you're going to be grumpy and irritable, and everything's going to be an aggravation.
You're not gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna be like, I'm going back.
Right.
Yeah, you're going back. Yeah, that's why. I mean, I've seen people that have a half of a twin, and I'm like, a half of a twin. I'm like, I'm small as it is, and sometimes I roll, or I mean, I move. I just can't just lay like I'm dead.
Right.
You know, I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
So I want something that I'm going to be comfortable in. And, you know, it works. I made it work. I made it work. And everybody is going to have a different way of going about it, but you have to be comfortable in it. And doing it full time like I am, and I'm about to experiment into nomadic land.
Yeah.
For real, instead of being able to, you know, just be able to boondock on people, I'm going to be going into the unknown. I'm only going to have me to rely on for a while. So it's going to be an adventure, and I'm going to really test out this whole thing that I have set up and really test myself, and we'll see how long I last. Right. Hopefully, I mean, I have to last, right?
Yeah. Well, I think you'll do fine though, because you've kept things simple, and that's everything you add is one more thing you have to troubleshoot, is one more thing you have to potentially fix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're out and about, especially when you get into more desolate areas, there's just, you don't have the ability to go buy something and fix it or replace it.
Right. Especially when you're on a low income like me.
But even the people that have unlimited funds, especially going into the West, they just don't understand it before they get there. They think it's going to be like it was wherever they were living, and it's just not.
Right.
When they're not used to that, and
Exactly.
they think they're going to be able to go 5 miles or 10 miles to get something, and it's not.
Right.
It may be, there's areas, it may be hundreds of miles. It's easy to get into places at 75 or 100 miles to anything. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean that town, even though it's a good sized town, it's still going to have what you need.
Right. So that's why I'm going south. I'm going south. I'm going to start off by going south first. So this is going to be all new adventure for me. Right. And I have the capability of working with my minivan as well.
Right, because you do delivery stuff.
Right, I do
and you have a channel on that also that I'll link down below.
Okay.
For people that are
that'd be nice.
Are thinking about or trying to figure out how to make some extra money while they are on the road, because that is one way.
Right.
One way to do it.
Yes, and that's what I'm going to be doing after the meetup. Is I'm going to be hardcore working. You know, because I have to, because that's the only way to have the gas money.
Right.
And to survive and to be able to buy food and everything else.
Right.